FIRO, a 3D theory of interpersonal behavior by Holt Rineheart, aka the interpersonal underground. Our needs from and towards others are 1, inclusion, to be with people and to be alone. 2, control, determine our future and depend on others to engage in personal. And 3, affection, close, emotional, or less intense types of warmth and involvement. So inclusion efforts is to have enough contact to avoid loneliness and enjoy people, and enough loneliness to avoid enmeshment and enjoy solitude. Ideally, to feel comfortable and joyful with or without people, and know what amount and when is how we'll best function. The control efforts is to achieve enough influence so that one can set his future to the degree of most comfortable, and to relinquish enough control so that he's able to lean on others to teach, guide, and support, and at times help shoulder responsibility. Ideally, it's capable of leading and following as appropriate and knowing where feels most appropriate and easeful. 3 is affection efforts, to avoid being engulfed in emotion, emotional engagement, not being free to relate without a deep involvement, and also to avoid having too little or a blank, sterile life without warmth, tenderness, and a confidant. Ideally, aware of needs and functions, effectively not only in close, emotionally involving situations, but also in those with less intensity, able to give and take comfortably and joyfully. Ida Rolf is the structural integration. Psychosomatic and somatopsychic is two-way, even you would call it a feedback loop. Temporary fear, grief, anger can be carried by the body, recognizable to others, the world, as the outward manifestation of the particular emotion. Persistent dramatization or consistent reestablishment of that outward manifestation can form a habit pattern, which is like a muscular arrangement that becomes set, and the physical attitude becomes involuntary, invariable, and aberrations cannot be changed basically by simply taking thought or mental suggestion anymore. In that case, setting physical response also sets emotional patterns, progressively thus limiting emotional tone to closely defined areas, and lives and moves without being in an attitude. Eventually, one no longer feels immediate emotional responses to specific situations, and emotional and physical traumas in childhood or accidents can also upset body balance, leading to compensation, which can cause physical limitations and distortions, and a feeling of weakness or instability in the body, which is then transmitted to mental and emotional states. Normal body alignment is one movement that's performed with minimum work and maximum energy expenditure. 2, motion that can be initiated in any direction with maximum ease and speed. Movement can start anywhere with minimum preliminary adjustment of the body. Structure is appropriate to the most adequate functional position of internal organs and nervous system, the balance of support and non-crowdedness. And 5, there's minimum wear and tear on body parts. I like 3, which is movement can start anywhere with minimum preliminary adjustment of the body, because I think sometimes I'm like trying to get myself in a position where I could be free. I'm going to share about chakras from Ruth White, how to surrender the ego and lose it with grace and joy. So the root develops in a 0 to 3, 5-year-old. It's the perineum. It's the self-preservation, acceptance, concepts, physical body. It's nurturing, rooting, and matter. The sacral is 3 to 5 to 8 years old. 2 fingers below the navel, power, empowerment, life flow, and etheric body, flexibility, and sexuality. Solar plexus is like 8 to 12 years old. It's like the sternum. Related to vision, all kinds of digestion, including metaphysical, the astral body, psychic intuition, logic, reason, opinion, identity, and assimilation. Heart is 12 to 15 years old, center of the body at the level of the heart. Compassion, detachment, symbolic breath, feeling love of others, God, feeling body, give and receive, true love of the heart doesn't mean emotional passions and rawness, since it's tempered with wisdom and it's lasting. The throat, 15 to 21, the neck, communication, ability to listen, responsibility, lower mental body, expression, personal collective memory, universal truth, making ourselves heard. The brow, above and between the eyes. Higher vibrations, spiritual vision, refinement, inspiration, higher mental body, spirit completeness, and command, insight. And the crown is the top of the head. As a 1,000-petal lotus, etheric body, soul, causal body, surrender, release, incoming will, gravity, levity, incarnation, and process. And I'm going to also share from the movie, Dying Doesn't Feel Like What I'm Doing. Some quotes. She said, if I live the way I want, it won't feel like dying. Shechianu is that Jewish prayer we say when we do something completely new. And it's basically about this moment. It's a meditation of this moment's completely new. It's able to be completely exhilarating, novel, joyous, celebratory. The moment of now has never happened before, and I've never been this me before this moment. Misha Berach is healing the fractalized body, heart, and mind, and spirit. It's also an element of connection. We're all in it together. We can all heal together, each of us. Synergistically, it all reflects. And love, which is the most important thing in the living experience. Self-love, partner love, family love, love of God, love of all that is pure and true, friend love. Before death or in the near-death experience, this is seen very clearly and undeniably felt. And I'm so grateful to at least know this from my own experience. And then I had a talk with my mentor who I saw it with. This is going back some years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, or maybe less. Important to be the authentic self, even if it means that means numb, giving self permission to witness and notice exactly what's going on and accepting it. Me being a work in progress. My feelings are valid for today, and there's no need to compare myself or fit in a category, worry about what others perceive. I'm as good as I am. I don't need to try to be different, better, because that resistance is opposite of healing through. And there's big accomplishments, which for me is taking a stand for myself, setting boundaries, saying no, believing in myself even when it's not easy, letting myself be seen and known by others, and creating options and momentum. And I'll stop there. Thank you so much for joining. Be well.